When we talk about service assurance, even before we go into the hybrid space, the first thing that comes to mind is quality of experience. And there are very strong voices in the industry at both extremes. You have folks saying service assurance is underrated, it needs more attention, and the communication service providers cannot be successful without addressing it really well. And on the other hand, you have the industry pundits saying, well, look at OTT. You really don't need that much of emphasis. It can be managed at a very high level.
We see a couple of challenges. One is a fundamental, even the enterprise and their monitoring, or even service providers with their OSS stack, with EMSs and NMSs, still are challenged by the simple instrumentation. You cannot measure what is not there or is not exposed. I still find myself having our teams push vendors, VNF vendors, application vendors, infrastructure vendors for better instrumentation so that we can pull that telemetry back and then do different things with it.
So I think it's very important that we look at a hierarchical system level design here, and we have some consensus and we have some understanding through the industry as to what decisions and what actions are taken at what layer of the whole stack. Of course, the big problem here is that that is all crying out for standardization, and there really haven't been standards set in that area yet. So I think one of the challenges for us as vendors providing different levels of the solution is, you know, let's get together and let's cooperate on some interoperable solutions here so that we can really move the industry forward in this whole direction.
What we've seen with SD-WAN deployments is to be able to do things like zero-touch provisioning of both your SD-WAN layer as well as the IPsec capabilities. You have to think about, well, how do I create that IPsec tunnel with maybe the billions of dollars that service providers have already invested in their IPsec infrastructure? So having that open platform that allows them to integrate with that IPsec solution that's already deployed in the core of the network, being able to orchestrate that, let's say from FCAP's perspective, a configuration perspective, to be able to auto-configure that so that every single SD-WAN provisioned is naturally secure. You don't have to think about that. Things like that often get taken for granted and super important in the world of a hybrid nature.
Making sure that you're able to hierarchically look at this, make sure that you're not trying to essentially boil the ocean, and attempting to do this in a way that, you know, it marries the capabilities of your organization with what is realistically possible in the short run. I mean, the technologies that we've seen where such opportunities exist, I mean, there's SD-WAN, there is software-defined application services and load balancing, there's distributed firewalling capabilities that are emerging, and I think it is selecting sort of the best of breed in each of these categories, identifying where you can have maximum bang for the buck, and identifying those application environments where these technologies are most immediately applicable.
Thank you for joining us, and thanks to the panel. Thank you.